scariest Virginia housing market crash just got worse. Are you a homeowner or a potential homebuyer in Northern Virginia? Have you been keeping up with the latest trends in the housing market? If not, then you're in for a shock. Looking back at the last 2 years, the housing market in Northern Virginia experienced an unprecedented surge in prices. However, the looming recession has resulted in a more than doubling of mortgage rates compared to the same period last year, and the prosperous housing market may soon come to an end. In this video, we'll be discussing the impact of changing mortgage rates on the housing market in Northern Virginia, predicting the 2023 housing market, and giving you tips on how to navigate this uncertain time. So sit tight and watch until the end, because you won't want to miss any of this crucial information. Let's take a moment to reflect on the past 2 years in the housing market in Northern Virginia. It was a time of extraordinary growth, with prices skyrocketing to unprecedented levels. But unfortunately, the good times couldn't last forever, and the impending recession has brought some less than favorable changes. Mortgage rates have more than doubled compared to last year, and the rise in unemployment and inflation levels is cause for concern. With all these factors in play, the once booming housing market may be heading for a downturn. This 2023, there's a great deal of uncertainty in the world, making it a challenging year to predict. The fate of the housing market remains unknown. Despite this, extensive research has been conducted, including watching numerous YouTube videos, reading countless articles, analyzing data from the local MLS, and reviewing home sales dating back to 2016 to identify trends and observe the market in Northern Virginia firsthand. Starting with a summary of 2022 can be divided into two distinct halves. The first half of the year, from January to May, was characterized by a continuation of the craziness seen in the housing market in 2021. There was a significant demand for homes, with every house being sold within the first weekend and receiving multiple offers. These homes were often selling for tens of thousands of dollars above the asking price, with no home inspections or appraisals. In particular, single-family homes in Ashburn were selling for an average of $60,000 above the asking price between February and early April, which is an astonishing figure. However, things started to change in May, with homes not selling as quickly and remaining on the market for 2 to 5 weeks. Even homes that did get multiple offers were only receiving 2 or 3, a significant shift in leverage toward buyers. The main cause of the slowing housing market was the rise in interest rates, which more than doubled from the first few weeks of January to May. The average mortgage interest rate increased from 3% to almost 6%, with rates hitting as high as 7% in the last 30 days. This rise in interest rates significantly affected affordability, making it difficult for people to afford homes. Now, I'll discuss the impact of changing mortgage rates on the housing market in Northern Virginia. Let's consider an example of a $690,000 home with a 10% down payment and a 3% interest rate. With this rate, the monthly payment would be $2,618, and the total cost over the life of the loan would be $942,000. Now, let's compare this scenario to a 7% interest rate, which would increase the monthly payment by over $1,500 and the total cost by over $500,000. It's clear that such a significant increase in rates would make it much more difficult for potential buyers to afford homes. This, in turn, would prevent the housing market from experiencing the recent boom it has had. I also want to point out that the current housing market in Northern Virginia has seen a decrease in buyer demand due to affordability concerns, as well as a shortage of inventory. I've noticed that many sellers are choosing to stay in their homes rather than sell and buy a less expensive property with higher interest rates. Some are turning their homes into investment properties to take advantage of the potential for cash flow at higher rates. In my opinion, changing mortgage rates have had a significant impact on the housing market in Northern Virginia. Okay, let's delve into my predictions for the 2023 housing market in Northern Virginia. While I acknowledge that I may not be entirely accurate in my forecasts, I will provide them nonetheless. Firstly, I believe that the housing inventory in Northern Virginia will continue to remain exceedingly low in 2023, and this will not only apply to the region, but also to the entire country, as there is no indication of an influx of new inventory anytime soon. If you are a homeowner with a low interest rate, say around 3 to 4%, then you possess a valuable asset that you should hold on to. It would not make any sense to sell your current property and pay more for a house that is inferior in quality. Due to the low inventory, I do not expect a significant decline in home values, which we will discuss further later on. Secondly, I predict that mortgage interest rates will reach 5.5% by the end of 2023. While forecasting mortgage rates is not an easy task, it is worth noting that the pandemic caused an unprecedented drop in mortgage rates in 2020. Therefore, I may not be entirely correct in this prediction. However, I believe that we are close to the peak, having hit around 7% recently, but with some recent decreases. It is possible that we could reach as high as 7.5% by the first quarter of next year. I predict that interest rates in the first half of 2022 will fluctuate between 6.5% and 7.5%. I believe that by some point in 2023, the Fed will acknowledge that we are in a full-blown recession, which historically leads to lower interest rates to stimulate the economy. As a result, mortgage interest rates could potentially decrease, and I anticipate that by the end of 2023, they will reach 5.5%. Moving on to my prediction for home values in Northern Virginia, I want to emphasize that this prediction is solely for this area, which is unique due to its high education and affluence levels, as well as being home to the first and third wealthiest counties in the U.S., Fairfax and Loudoun County respectively. I have revised my estimates several times during my research, but ultimately, I believe that a housing correction or drop will affect Northern Virginia differently from other parts of the country. I see three likely scenarios for home values in Northern Virginia. Scenario A is that home values will increase by 1 or 2% annually, which is the best case scenario. In terms of the housing market, there is a possibility of a full market correction leading to a maximum drop of 10%. However, this is considered the worst case scenario, and it is not expected to occur. The predicted scenario for Northern Virginia is a decline in home value ranging from 1 to 5% within the next 6 to 12 months. This implies that if one purchases a $1 million house today, its worth will reduce to about $950,000 in the next 6 to 12 months. Despite the high prices and interest rates, people will still require homes to live in, which will increase the demand for rentals. Rental prices are expected to continue rising as the demand increases. Currently, the average 3-bedroom rental in Northern Virginia has risen from $2,700 per month in the first quarter of the year to $2,800 per month in the past 30 days. It is likely that the average rent for a 3-bedroom rental in Northern Virginia will reach $3,000 per month in 2023. Additionally, condos and townhomes are expected to hold their value better compared to single-family homes. This prediction is based on the fact that condos and townhomes tend to be more affordable and easier to maintain, making them an attractive option for buyers. Thank you for sticking with me until the end of this video. I hope you found this information helpful and insightful, especially if you're a homeowner or a potential home buyer in Northern Virginia. The housing market is a complex and ever-changing entity, and it's crucial to stay informed to make informed decisions. Remember, while it's uncertain what the future holds for the housing market, staying up to date with the latest trends and predictions can help you make the best choices for your financial future. Don't forget to like and subscribe to our channel for more informative content on real estate and finance. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them below and I'll do my best to respond. Thank you again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.